So, we have been talking about being fully present and showing up in your life. And so, I kind of came across this topic by watching everybody on Thanksgiving. So, we had 48 people to our house for Thanksgiving Day, and I'm a people person and I like watching people and analyzing people. And what I saw was how people showed up for Thanksgiving. And then I analyzed that that's kind of how they're showing up in their own lives, So not being critical, but just analytical, like watching the people that came in the room that had a lot of energy and a lot of life and were engaged in people, and people that came in and kind of went by themselves on a couch and didn't want to connect. And maybe, they're shy too, and maybe not as outgoing, but just paying attention on seeing maybe how life works for them. And so I just was making these analogies on just observing and watching people. And sometimes when we show up in life and we're happy and engaged, then it's kind of how we're showing up for ourselves. And so I think sometimes it's easy for us to show up in life when things are going well. But when things aren't, it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to make ourselves be positive. It's hard to make ourselves want to talk to people. It's hard to want to be around people when maybe we're having a yucky day. But really, that's when we need people the most. And sometimes when we pull in and we want to be alone and we want to be left alone, we just keep spiraling. And so it's important to be kind to ourselves when we're feeling like that, and to be gentle and to encourage ourselves to get out there and maybe just even talk to one person a day, or be able to just feel like you can connect with someone and give yourself that opportunity to just show up instead of pulling away and being recluse. And so when we show up for ourselves and we just try and we're working through things and we're being grateful for even opportunities that aren't so pleasant, but we still keep showing up and we still keep trying, and we still keep trying to find gratitude in what we're learning and what we're experiencing, instead of being pessimistic and want to turn away from people and be away and not show up for our life and just keep waiting for a catalyst or something to happen to change it. And it never does, because we don't want to take that responsibility for ourselves. We just keep producing the same thing over and over again, wanting different results. So really taking a look on, how do you show up in your life? When life gets hard, do you quit? When life gets hard, do you try to figure out another way to look at it, or another way to see it? Or do you persevere? Or do you set a goal? Or do you set an intent to try to show up for yourself? And by doing that, we show up for our children, and we show our children through example how to show up for themselves, even on days when they don't feel like it. And I just think it's really, really important to be gentle with ourselves in the process and encourage ourselves, and start small. But just showing up is half the battle. Just getting up and getting out of bed, just getting dressed, just brushing your teeth, just some days that's all we need to do. But show up. Just don't quit. Don't allow our emotions to take over what our soul really wants. Our soul really wants a happy, productive life where we feel joy and we connect with other like-minded people. So show up for ourselves and make our soul happy, living the life that we want and making the connections that we want and making it happen instead of waiting for someone else to do it for us.